Take that. Pause.
This is one of our ladies, 267-760. You're in the war room. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Felicia Marquita calling from Philadelphia.
Felicia, what's up? So what you think about this topic? Did you hear the comments that I read from our anonymous source?
You know what? I didn't, and I was hoping that I would catch some more. I'm sorry, I was cooking dinner and feeding my son, so I didn't catch all the comments at all.
All right, well, give us your comment or what you wanted to say real quick, and then I'll read them to you real quick, and then you can tell us what you think about it.
Okay, I'm not sure who. I always try to catch your voices. I'm still not sure who each of you are, but whoever was just speaking, the one with the deep voice.
That's Brad. That's
sounding very intelligent and very well spoken.
That's BX.
No, I was just going to say a lot of what you were saying definitely has to do with the psychology that, as far as like the reality shows, they play on the psychology of, you know, what people are viewing and everything like that. I think in some cases that those ghetto stereotypes, they're deliberately cast that way. I also think that there might be some of that where the women who are not in that category don't want anything to do with it. And personally, I tune out those reality shows. I can't watch Basketball Wives. I could barely tolerate T.O. I could not watch Ocho Cinco. I just can't do it.
Right.
And then the men, what you were saying about the men not wanting to, trying to run away from their reality or where they come from. Again, that has to do with their whole mental. I have a problem. There definitely is a problem with a man or a woman who specifically says, I'm not going to date, I will date any other race but my own. I just think there really is something wrong with it. I think there's something different when you say, I prefer to date this, that, and the other, but when you just exclude anybody just because they're of a certain whatever, I don't know, I just think there's something wrong with it when we're talking about it.
All right, this is Devin. I'm going to read you these comments from an anonymous person that we know. He's actually married to a black woman. But when we spoke with him and asked him why do black athletes date out, why do many black athletes date outside their race, he said, one, because they don't want any ghetto-ass black women. Two, they don't want a ready-made family because most black women already have kids by one or more brothers.
Wow.
And they've never been married. Three, he says sisters have the jump-off mentality instead of wifey mentality. And four, no brother wants a hoe. We want a wife that is our hoe when we want her to be.
But you know what?
Real quick before we let you go, what do you think of comments like that?
With comments like that, oh my goodness, because I raised 3 boys. First of all, we are not out there screwing and having sex with ourselves. Number one. Number two.
Amen.
Number two, you was the one that, and not to say everybody is like this, because you have some females that don't care, they get down like that, they know they're a hoe. But you have some women out here that are looking for relationships that are getting duped and screwed by these men, and these same men are going to turn around and call me a hoe? Really? Really? That is ridiculous. I think that speaks volumes to who we are raising, who we as a people are raising. For you to go around, you're going to screw every girl. Think about it if that was your daughter. Really? You think so? If you have sex with a white woman and you have a child, your daughter's still black. Hello.
All right, well, Felicia, thank you for your call because you sound like you're about to curse. So we're going to let you go before you curse.
No,
I'm just playing with you. But thanks for your call. We really appreciate it. All right. Felicia she was boiling a little bit. Blood level.
I know. Let her hands go.
She made I want to speak to the point. Real quick. Yeah, real quick. She made some excellent points. Thank you, Felicia. But I want to speak to the point of like black females being hoes and this, that, and other. I mean, to me, from my observation and experience, you can find whatever you want in any race in terms of good and bad. And personally, I think I didn't discriminate against any race back in my day, so it was like, hey, if you look good, you look good. If you don't, you don't. If you putting out, you putting out. If you not, you not, regardless of race. You know what I mean?
And Kill Smokes, what was you doing back in your day?
I was spreading my love. You know what I mean?
Well, like, look, man, you was Kim Kardashian. You was Kim Kardashian. Man, it don't matter. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure we all agree. There's nothing wrong with, interracial marriage, interracial dating. But I think the problem people have and the problem that black women have is when you basically say that you're going to limit yourself. You're not going to even deal with black women on that level. I'm pretty sure that's insulting for them to hear.
Yo, the homie Charles Barkley straight said, I don't like white people while he was married to a white woman.
He said, I hate
white people. And he was married to a white woman.
Yo, we can't really take anything that Chuck says seriously because the dude says anything that comes into his mind, he got diarrhea in the mouth. But Marquita, what was the caller?
Felicia Marquita.
Felicia Marquita. She made an excellent point. She actually made a few excellent points, but one that I wanted to touch on is, like, when you hear a lot of these athletes saying, I will never, never date this or never date that, and then you look at their mothers, their sisters, their daughters, typically black women don't date outside of their race, at least not at the same rate that black men do. So why is there that disparity? I have my own opinions, but I'm interested in hearing from you, brothers around the round table. Why is there that disparity? What's the difference?
Anybody want to take that?
That's a good question, man. I mean, it's something to think about. I can't even explain it, but you're right. I mean, black women definitely date outside of their race, but nowhere near what I see in terms of black men that date outside of their race. So I honestly don't know. Like, honestly, it puzzles me, to be honest with you. Like, a lot of times when me and Ebony are out and we're people watchers, we observe what's around us, I ain't going to hold you, man. I feel like we see more couples. We see more black men with non-black women than we see black men with black women. I mean, this could be at the mall, this could be at the movies, this could be at dinner. And this is all throughout the city of Philly. And it's just interesting. I don't know. I can't explain it. She asked me, like, yo, why is it that way? And I'm like, I can't put my finger on it, cuz I have no idea. I mean, if you, like Kel said, if you want to find a girl that, because she puts out, sometimes people say that, and I'm not trying to, this is not how I feel, this is what I've heard, that sometimes white girls may put out, and then sometimes, here's another thing real quick. When you think of the dynamic, like from what I've heard, I hear that a lot of women from other races are more submissive than black women. Now, I don't know that because I've never been outside of the black woman race, but I know that in terms of the family structure, when you're thinking of women and like what Brad said, a lot of black women sometimes were single moms and had to hold it down and had to be aggressive and had to, like, make ends meet to take care of her family. So they're going to see that aggression. That aggression is going to come through.
So what you're saying is black women ain't going to put up with some of their nonsense is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Paul, listen, real quick, Brad, real quick, because he actually touched on that too. I didn't even get to that.
He touched on a great point.
No, this is what our anonymous guest said. He was like, people may get mad at what he's gonna say because he was quote unquote keeping it real. He said he actually said this. He said he thinks that people are going to give us BS answers such as 1, white women are submissive, 2, white women are trophies, and 3, white girls are more docile. So that kind of played on what Paul was just saying that he heard. So
well,
it's obvious that a lot of people think this way.
I don't think that it may be the underlying reason is misinterpreted by an outward definition or adjective for behavior. But here's what I've hypothesized as I've watched the dynamics through the years. To me it feels like when you look at the black family dynamic and you look at other family dynamics, and not just white people, you know, other cultures, other races. Our family structures have been torn apart for whatever reason. We don't want to get into the slavery topic because that's its own topic, but a lot of women from other races have had the opportunity to have the example of a traditional mother, father, husband, wife dynamic, as their example. So if you have that, then the way you relate to a man in a relationship is based on what you have seen and experienced from being, a child. So that's how you're going to relate in your if your mom was a strong, take no nonsense, I don't got a man around, but I'm still going to make it happen, well, what do you think that you're going to be? So then you don't have, from a childhood experience, the background of seeing a male-female married dynamic to learn from. That's not what you come from. And so you've got a natural instinct in a man to want a woman that, is a wife and not, it can't be two husbands. Shout out to our alternative lifestyle peoples, but it can't be two husbands. It's got to be husband and wife. And sometimes black women haven't learned that, but black men haven't either, but they're quick to go to someone who will feed their ego and give them that quote-unquote submissiveness.
Hold on, so basically, this goes way back. Brother Brad out here sound like Brother Malcolm Farrakhan right now. I just want to say that I honestly believe that it actually goes back to slavery. I think that whole trophy concept is not just a BS answer. I mean, if you look at cats like Booker T. Washington, once Booker T. Washington started, started getting money and hanging with a different class, what did he do? I mean, this is true. You know what I mean? Yeah. He started like rubbing elbows with some cats that made money, and what did he do?
And so
he went out. He got rid of his black wife, and he got him a white. He started hanging with Andrew Carnegie and William from Rockefeller. Booker T cut off his black wife, and he got him a white wife.
He sold out. To bring us all the way around. Bring us all the way around. Looking at the draft, and these young boys getting on the auction block for these teams. And then they can get them a white wife and be in bondage and slavery. Oh, man, that's the best of both worlds.
Hey, listen, let me throw the number out real quick. If anybody wants to call in, and we do want to hear from our ladies, we got a few minutes left. That number is 323-410-0012. Want to hear
chat
from you?
Room going crazy.
I know. I can't even keep up to reading.
Yeah, I can't keep up.
So what we're going to do with the chat room, we're going to keep the chat room open for a little while after the show. So don't think when we go off the air, y'all got to stop talking.
And shout out to Black Achievement USA, because they brought up the fact that Frederick Douglass also went and got him a white chick when he came up.
Hey, but listen, hey, B. Austin, what was that question you asked about the disparity? I didn't even hear what you asked. That's why I couldn't weigh in on it.
Wait, what did you say?
What was
B.
that
Austin
question
put out
you asked
a million
earlier
points.
About disparity between something? I didn't hear the question. That's why I couldn't weigh in.
He said the disparity between black men dating white women and black women dating outside their race.
Black men seem it's prevalent for years. It's been that black men will date outside of their race, particularly white women. But if you notice, black women kind of lag behind in that, because even today in 2011, most black women are still waiting on a black man as opposed to dating outside of their race.
It does. You're right, because that does seem a little bit more taboo on the women's side of things. Of course they do it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem as normal. It doesn't seem as status quo as the black guy who goes out and gets someone that's not black. So, yeah, like PJ said, I don't really understand the disparity myself. Maybe they're afraid of how they're going to be portrayed within the black community. Maybe that's why they don't do it. But I do hear black women all the time saying how there's there's not enough black men, good black men to go around, because we're either dead or in jail. But we don't want to get that deep into the topic, but that's what you hear. So because of those kind of things, I wonder why we don't see that more than we do.
It might be like Chris Rock said, where he said, in the grand scheme of things, black women are more attracted to black men, and they're not as attracted to, and it's hard to just generalize again. We're putting blanket statements, which you can never do, but I'm just quoting Chris Rock. which, you know, you can take that for what you want. But he was just like, yo, black women would prefer to be with a black man. Like, they're more attracted to black men in general. But a black man, he will smash Rosie O'Donnell, like, because he just want to be with a white girl. I don't know. That's not speaking for me. That's Chris Rock. That's his perspective. But you know what? Also, too, I think it is when we see the disparity, too, Brad. It might have something to do with the fact that typically a man is the aggressor in pursuing a woman. Now, that's not all the time. I definitely know that. But maybe it's because, you know, black men aren't afraid to, you know, go after what they want, whereas a black woman might not wanting to be the aggressor. Like Dad was saying, to be taboo to go and reach out to a white man or make herself more as available to a white man. I don't know. I'm just reaching for things I can't really. Go ahead.
A man in general, you know, no matter what the race is, needs his ego stroked to a certain extent. Yeah. And a woman's job is to do that. And when you see your mother do it to your father, you know, it's a learned behavior, but again, I got to go back to the breakdown in black family. If you don't see it, how do you learn it?
You don't know it,
And children will deviate from 90% of what you tell them to do. Believe me, I know my kids don't listen to nothing I say, but they do everything that I do. Everything I do, they imitate. So, and that doesn't change as you grow or grow older. So that's really. And it's like, as a black man, I need my ego stroked. And if my woman's not going to do it, sister's not going to do it, then, you know, Becky's ready, willing, and able.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality.
Becky might get her gobble on.
Becky doing more than stroking my ego.
Oh, she was stroking your ego with her mouth.
Hey, it's a little late, but y'all, let's take this last call real quick before we
Sure.
Yo, we got to hurry up. Yo.
202-669. You're in the war room. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Nzinga, and I was just calling in because this is quite an interesting topic you guys are talking about tonight. I did want to make a point. Huh?
All right, we got to keep it quick.
I said thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, you're welcome. No, I just wanted to say that as far as, you know, stroking someone's ego, I think any woman can do that. And I think it is about just letting people know what they need. Some men need their ego stroked, where others, I mean, they stroke their ego enough for them and, you know, however many other women. And, I mean, you guys have made a lot of good points about, you know, the way some black women are raised in households where there is a single mother who has to hold it down. But, I mean, it's also just about having a learning experience. I mean, sometimes, you know, you come in knowing everything, and sometimes you need a little help. And I just think that people need to be willing to let people know what they need and not always just think that people can read their minds.
Okay, well, thank you. Anything else?
Wait, it's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.